This conference will now be recorded.
So from today we are going to start with the new module which is EC2. It is meant as Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay. So let me open the diagram.
So, Mithun, what will be the main important concept in AWS? Is it EC2 or IAM?
Yeah, all are important. Whatever is covered in sessions, everything will be compared. Are important.
Okay. So, in
So you cannot
interview
neglect,
round,
all the components are important. So you need IAM for access and other things. So you need
okay,
VPC for your networking. So you need EC2 for compute, and you need S3 for your storage, and you need Route 53 for DNS and other things, and you need load balancing. So like every aspect is important.
got it, Mithun.
Okay, and if you keep practicing, no, so everything will be in registered in your mind. It is not that difficult, so you can easily crack it. Not an issue. Okay.
Okay, Mithun.
Okay. So right. So today's topic is EC2, which is abbreviation for Elastic Compute Cloud. I mean, you have already, started launching instances or everything. Okay. But today we are going to see what are all the components which makes it EC2. Okay. So before going to the EC2, you might have seen a laptop. Okay. So let us study laptop first. So what are the components it is made up of? Right now this is on laptop. So what are all the components it is made of? So first and foremost it is made up of a CPU. Okay, so it CPU consists of motherboard, right, comma processors, right, RAM. Okay, so in CPU, motherboard, RAM, everything. Okay, then next main component is hard disk to store our data. Okay, earlier we were having HDD, that is hard disk. Now we have SSD, that is solid state drive, which is very fast. Okay, then what is required? Only to what else? So hard disk will be there. Then to connect to the internet, so it is NIC card will be there, network interface card. Clear? Then of course USB ports and blah 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 other things will be there. So basically these three are main components. Okay, so this is for networking, and this is for storage your data, and this is for your compute power. Okay, now again start with the basics. So all these things are embedded inside one single computer. Of course, along with for us, display is there, input device, those things and all are there, but it is not relevant to our servers. Okay, so server will have only console like this. We have already discussed, right? So we don't require any like monitor or any display for a output. Okay, so but we think as if like these are components are embedded into a single computer. Now if something happens to our CPU, then what will happen? Even though NIC card is working, hard disk is working, then entire system is based, because this is dependent on one another, because these things are tightly coupled. So that is why nowadays cloud computing is becoming the everybody's need now, or every company need, because in cloud computing what happens, these components are different. Okay, so whatever I have shown inside this, I mean diagram, or inside this box, they are all separate. They work together, but if one fails, you can automatically bring out the another one. Okay, so your hard disk and NIC card, you can use the same thing. So let me explain. Okay, so now in cloud what will happen? So CPU will be different. Okay, then disk will be different. Okay, disk will be different. They are not in, they are connected, of course. So they are connected, but next is, what did I say? So NIC card. So this is NIC card. This is NIC card. You're getting the point. So this will have your CPU and RAM. Okay, and this is known as a instance type. So this we will select in the section called as instance type. You have seen, but I will explain this in detail after this explanation. Okay, then this is known as a EBS volume. So this is known as a elastic block storage. Okay, and this is under network interface, networking. Okay, you getting the point? Okay, so these three are main important elements for EC2. Okay, but along with this there are some other elements also. Now you purchased a computer or a laptop, then for what is, so you have motherboard, hard disk, everything is there. So what is the first thing you install to your operating, I mean this computer or laptop? So the operating system, right? So we install operating system using a CD, right? So install the operating system using a CD, right? Which is operating system, isn't it? But here also we require operating system, but here we are not going to insert any CD because we see only virtually, right? We see everything in a graphical user interface. So there is something called as AMI, which is known as a Amazon Machine Image. So which gets added, or whatever the AMI is selected is, sorry, not here, it gets stored to the EBS volume. Okay, so likewise, suppose you have selected operating system as Windows Server or Windows 11, Windows 10, so you will install to the hard disk, right? So similarly here also you will select the AMI, and we have, what are the types of AMI? We have Linux, here also we have Windows and etc. So there is a AMI, correct? Yes or no? So for the first time, whenever you are launching an instance, we will first start with the AMI. So this is the step number one. Okay, so I will write here. Okay, okay, so this is step number one. So this is the first step. What is the first step? In the AWS console, you will start with the selection of AMI. Okay, then what is the next step? Second step is you will select the instance type, meaning how much RAM and how much memory is required. So that is the second step. here. Okay, then third step is your, you will select networking, where some more components also gets added, like what. So with network interface, the first thing gets added is security group. You're getting the point? So security group. Okay, so this is a security group which gets attached to the network interface. Okay, which gets attached to the network interface. Okay, and we also, the next is what? Then we select the storage. So this is the fourth step. So this is the fourth step. Okay, in the third step, along with the network interface, we also select the fourth, and this is the fourth, selecting the volume. At this point, you are selecting the what is the size you want it to store to your hard disk, that is your EBS volume. Okay, and then finally you will select something called as key pair. So that is the fifth. Okay, fifth and last step. Okay, you will also select the key pair. So let me select here. So it's a key pair. So that is the fifth step. So these are all the components. So as you are selecting step by step, step by step. So what is the first step? AMI. Then second step is you will select instance type. Then you will select the networking, network interface type. And they are all connected to one another. Okay, logically and virtually. If something goes down, you can remove this and add a new working CPU to the existing disk. So that is the beauty of cloud computing. And you need this key pair to log into the system. I'll explain these now in the console. Okay, so now let me log into the AWS console. I have already logged in, right? Okay, let me refresh. So MFA code is very, very important. It will help you to. So give the correct one, 045, sorry, 599481. So I'll be logged in. So now just see the steps. So now go to EC2. See, click on launch instance. Now see here. So of course these are name. So you can give any name. Of course this is logical. So you can name it as a demo, or you can EC2. You can name it as EC2 only, not an issue. See, as I told, right, the first step is to start your OS image, that is operating system images. So this is stored in the central server managed by AWS. So you can select whatever the flavor you want. Either you want Red Hat. So in Linux there are different flavors like Ubuntu, Red Hat, SUSE Linux. Okay, this is Mac OS. Okay, if you are okay to use Apple, so you can choose this. You can use Amazon own Linux is there. You can select Microsoft Windows. Okay, so that is the first step as I told you. Then the second step is instance type. There you can see whatever the your CPU and the RAM. Okay, so you can compare the instance type also here. So as you can see, for your various requirement, if you need 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, so all whatever the as per your requirement you can select. Okay, so you can select. Now I have selected T3 family. This is the family. So in AWS or in any cloud, every instance type will be of family. So in Azure they will maintain as different naming convention, and here they use a different naming convention, that's all. But in the backend it is all the same. As I told you, you will select a key pair also. So you can create select an existing key pair, or also you can use the same key pair. And the next is, this is the main important, that is the network interface card. Okay, here I told you, right, security group, existing security group you can use, or you can create another security group. And the next step is volume. See, volume is configuring storage. So this is what. So as you can see in the summary, this is the AMI, this is the server type, security group, storage. So these are the main components required to run a EC2 instance. You're getting the point? And then once you click launch instances, it will be launched. Okay, however, I'm not going to launch here. Okay, I'm going to cancel, as already I have servers running. Okay, so now as you can see in the console, so there are two states, instance state. So whenever you launch an instance, there is something known as a life cycle of an EC2 instance. Okay, so before going to that, let me come back to the diagram and I will explain. So once you finish all these stages, okay, then the actual life cycle of an instance will start. So what will happen? What is happening in the back end? See, for us we are just going here, and we are doing something in the console, which is very colorful console, and we are doing. But what exactly is happening? So what happening is, in the Northern Virginia region, whatever the availability zone, and now if you have noticed, I have selected only the default VPC. Let me show you again. If I go to the networking section, if it is a default VPC, see. So if you want, you can edit this section. So you can select the your existing VPCs and subnets, and you can, for firewall security groups, you can customize. Okay, so once you have selected all this, what is happening is, in the back end, in the Northern Virginia region, okay, and in that particular subnet, that is availability zone, our virtual machine or our server is getting hosted on a physical server which is available. So you have to please imagine that, and you have to understand that concept. In the data center, so physical, in somewhere we don't know the physical location. So obviously for various security purpose, they will not mention why, I mean the exact location of the server, but it is, they will say it is in this region and this availability zone. So they will not give you the physical machine details, but they are hosted in a physical machine like our laptops, but we don't manage them. Okay, so what is happening in this few seconds, the EC2 instance goes through a lot of life cycle. So what is that life cycle? It will start with, so once I select launch, so let me write here launch. So the next step, it will go to pending. You observe today. Okay, it will go to the pending state. Pending in the sense, so in the back end, it will trigger. So it will select from the centralized server to select the AMI and then the volume and the instance type. And it will back end, it is going to install our operating system in the physical hardware. So which will be allotted to us by the public IP and through to which we can log in. Okay, so think something like this. So this is a big hypervisor, or else data center. Yeah, think that this is one data center. Okay, so these are all rack of servers. So once I click launch, in the pending state, somewhere here, somewhere in the corner, our operating system or the EC2 instance will be dedicated to us until we use it. Okay, now once it has found the suitable hardware, then it will go to the running state. Okay, so then if you stop it, right? Okay, then if you stop it, what will happen? It will go to the from stopping to stopped state. Please remember, when you stop the instance, this will be gone because this is a compute power. They cannot dedicate it to you even if you stop the machine. No, if you turn back the machine again, there is no guarantee that you will get the same CPU. No, it might be in a different hardware, but your EBS volume will be same until you delete it. Okay, you're getting the point. You're getting the point. Okay, then from running you can also change to, I will write here, you can also change to reboot or restart, both are same. Okay, you can reboot, but when you reboot, right, the this will not change because you are just restarting the server, so it will, this will not change. So at reboot or you know sorry so at reboot or restart, the public IP will not change. Okay, so the public IP will not change, but when you stop the machine, the public IP will change. Public IP will change when you stop the machine. Getting the point? The public IP will change. Please remember this. And so from running, you can also go to terminate. Terminate means delete the machine. Okay, you can terminate. You're getting the point? Or from stopped also you can terminate. So either way it will be the same. Clear? So from stop also you can terminate. But once from running, if you terminate, then it will go to stopping state, then stop, then terminate. Terminate and before terminate, it will be something called as terminating. Okay, let me mention that as well. So terminating. Okay, so now let us observe this behavior in the console. So now again launch Again, I'm demo EC2. For simplicity, I'm selecting only Amazon Linux. I'm selecting only one CPU and 1 GB RAM because I should always remember that I should be in a free tier. Then I'm selecting existing key pair to log in. Then network settings, obviously you can select your custom VPC, enable auto send public IP. Okay, you can give a name it like this, demo EC2. You can give the same thing here. Okay, and you can log in, you can mention other rules. You can also go with the advanced network configuration, like you want a secondary IP, you want two IP address for your servers. Okay, so like this you can add, and you can add two network interface card for high availability. Okay, so it totally depends on your project. Okay, and you can add one more security group rule, and you can create one more security groups also. Then here configuring the storage, you can increase the size, you cannot decrease the size, but you can increase the size. Okay, it will allow you now, but it will throw an error. Okay, so you can increase the size, or you can leave it as it is, or you can add a secondary volume, one more volume. This will be a root volume. Root volume in the sense, this is where our operating system gets installed. So you cannot run EC2 without root volume. So this is mandatory. So you can see there is no option to remove. So but these you can remove. Okay. Now coming to the advanced details. Now this is something you have to remember. Okay, so in the advanced, so we were not touching advanced details when we were launching the instance earlier, but now we are going to cover. Okay, so under the, if you just drop down the advanced section, there is something known as a spot instances. What is this spot? So it is a purchasing option where, see, in any cloud computing, okay, but in AWS there is a something called as, whenever you buy anything EC2, okay, there is a three types. One is on demand, okay, then reserved instance, and third is spot instances. Okay, spot instances. Getting the point? So these three are, okay, so on demand means it is pay as you go model. Okay, so pay as you go means the moment you launch the instance, like now in the management console, you will be billed. Okay, but what are reserved instance? Reserved instance means you are telling the AWS, boss, I am going to use the instance for at least 1 year or 3 years. There is no 2 year plan, there is only 1 year plan. And you will tell the AWS, minimum I am going to use 1 year or 3 years. You have to select the plan. So based on that my usage, please give me discount. So discount rate for 12 months or 36 months. You can choose either one. Okay, I will show you. So discount rate for 12 months or 36 months. Then what are these spot instances? This is pay as you go. Like you run for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 100 minutes, you will be billed. But here, once you purchase the reserved instance, whether you stop the machine, Whether you run the machine, if you don't run the machine, you will be billed for 12 months every month. Okay, so there is different options like monthly or upfront. You can pay, upfront. So there is another special discount for that. Now this is something spot instances even cheaper than reserved instance. So spot instances means you are telling the AWS that I am ready to take the risk. Okay, give more discount on risk. What is that risk? So spot instances means these are those instances which are idle. It is not taken by any of the people. Okay, so in order to promote their business, they give spot instances. Obviously, you can go with the spot instances to save cost, but there is one risk. What is that risk? Whenever there is a scarcity for instances, they will take back your instances with just giving 1 or 2 minutes warning. That's it. Okay, for example, think that there is one shop who gives 100 laptops on rents. Okay, so he has already given 50 laptops on regular basis, 20 on demand, so to 50 plus 20 70, and there is 30 also pending. So he will leave 30 as a on a special discount. But what he is telling, that whenever he requires those 30 laptops, he will collect it from me in a like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So that is the risk actually. You got the point, right? So that is the meaning of spot instances. Whether your work is finished or not, so you will be, they will take back. But of course there are some methods, so you can request for, you know recursively for spot instances, but you will be, there will be separate billing. So the billing is not constant for spot instances, it will keep on varying. Okay, so that is the meaning of spot instances. You're getting the point? So that is what it means for, purchase option spot, request spot instance. See, if you request spot instances, there is additional, you can customize also. So no maximum price. So you can bid your instance here. So that is another feature. So there will be a separate price tag. So based on that, you can bid the same amount or you can higher than this. Okay, and request step, so you can go with the persistent, meaning whenever they take back, you can again submit a request for spot instances. Anyhow your ebase volume will not go, right? So that is the meaning. Okay, but usually for production workloads, it is not recommended to go with the spot instances. Okay, so application downtime is not acceptable. You getting the point? Now this option is something to, if you want to join your newly created server to any domain. Okay, and if you want to create any IAM role, so you can select that. Yesterday I have shown. So while creation also you can create that. Okay, then host name you can select as that IP only. Okay, resource name is not required, right? For this is only
Mit-
for the,
Mithun, sorry.
yeah,
So how will they charge for this spot instance?
this is for the bidding. On a bidding I told, right? So once you
Uh,
select spot, so there will be a bidding price like this. So there will be a separate charges. I will show you in some time.
okay, okay,
Okay,
Mithun.
right? So then, then if there is auto recovery, you have to select. Meaning, if there is any issue, it should auto recover. Then shutdown behavior is stop. Meaning, whenever you shut down the system, it should stop or terminate. So usually you can select is a terminate, or you can also hibernate. Hibernate is similar to your Windows operating system. So you can hibernate the your EC2 instance. Now termination protection is something is very important. Support, it will handle the accidental deletion of the servers. It will handle the accidental deletion of the server. So this is called termination protection. For example, if you enable this and you have launched the instance, then until you disable this, nobody will be able to terminate it. So that is the meaning of termination protection. But keep it don't select this until it is very necessary. For production purpose, we enable it. Okay. Stop protection means it is again similar to termination, but this will not allow the instance to stop even if you issue a command. Okay, you getting the point? So let me show you. So I will enable it. I will enable both the things. Okay, and this is for if you enable monitoring. See, not only a duty of cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer is to just launch the things or launch the servers into the cloud environment, but you also should check its health, right? So in order to check its health, you should always go with the CloudWatch. CloudWatch is again a monitoring tool of AWS, so which will be covering in the end. Okay, so again this is something related to your different types of instance types. So elastic GPU you can select, so but not required, so it is only for Windows AMI. Okay, so select it. Then credit specification. So what is this credit specification? If you are launching your system, okay, on a these type of instance type like T2, T3 and T3, you can select as unlimited. Unlimited in the sense, if your CPU demands are more or high, then it will keep on increasing in the back end. But if you select standard, okay, then it will not burst beyond the baseline performance. In the sense, if your application requires more CPU than it is providing, then it will not go with the standard. Okay, now this is placement group is something called as logically grouping your servers or EC2 in a logical grouping, but usually we don't do it, so you can leave it as it is. Okay, and earlier this was a not grayed out because now every instance is EBS optimized. Okay, now this was I tell, right? So capacity reservation, so you can always select it as a select, you should not select this. Okay, this means it is paying additional cost to AWS. If you select this to open, or if you select it by target group, then what will happen? You will be paying additional fees for reserving your capacity for that in that availability zone. So that is the reason you will not select this. So always remember. Okay, then tenancy, you can always select shared. Okay, shared means along with your EC2 instance, there will be other EC2 instances run by some other company or some other customer or some other people. Okay, so dedicated instance means they'll give you entire hypervisor to you, so this is not good. Okay, and dedicated host again very expensive, so don't select this, always go with the shared. Okay, and this is RAM disk ID and other things are very important for kernel. You should always leave it as default, don't select this. Okay, and if you have any license you can configure based on that. Okay, and this is metadata, if you want you can enable it. Okay, you can select v2 version, but it is not required anyhow because we are going to have our own application data inside, right? Okay, and you can allow tags inside the metadata. So these four options are related to metadata only, right? Next, now this is the most important component which comes under the last, that is user data. Meaning you can install or you can pass some instructions to the AWS EC2 instance to install on behalf of you. For example, I can give one script to this server. Let me show you. I have some examples. Okay, so you can give this. So you can just paste it and the rest just launch the instance. I am just show you what will happen. I don't need to log into the EC2 instance also. It will be ready. So as you can see, let me click here. So what do you see here? So this is the pending state, meaning it is finding a suitable hardware in the backend. Okay, so in some time this will change. See, now this is in a running. See, it has created, it has selected my VPC, everything. It has now given my MIID also is there. Keeper, it has selected everything. It has selected security groups. It has created. Now I can enable one more additional rule to check my application, which I passed using the user data. Isn't it? So now I have three EC2 instances running, and just I don't need to log in also. Just check it. Of course, this will take some time because in the backend it has to install the scripts. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes. So let me check what has happened. And you can connect to EC2 instance from here also. Okay, if you have a public IP, you can connect from the console. It is a very easiest way to check for any issues. And before that, let me check whether security group is enabled. Yeah, port 80 is enabled. Mhm. Let me try to log in using the key. Let us check what has happened. Why the user data have not taken place. Mhm. So I think connection timeout. So some issue because I have launched it in a this subnet. So I think internet gateway will not be there. So that is the reason. Let me check, cross check. Yes. So as you can see, this is how you can make out. See, this does not have a route to the internet gateway. So we have only one internet gateway, and this subnet I have made it as a this one. So go to routes, edit routes, add route. So you can select this. So that is the reason it was not coming. So now it will come. Let me check here. Yeah. So now this should work. Why this is not working? So as this was not connected to the internet, so the script has not worked because it need to connect to the internet to get any packages. So that's the reason it has not run. So if you can check that systemctl start httpd, so it has not taken. Okay, so think that it is just like running a script. Okay, so I will show you again what the user data will do. Let me show you. So when I are giving the user data there, no, it will copy paste in a script like this. It will be in a var lib cloud instance scripts. Okay, it will be like this, or else yeah, go inside. Yeah, so as you can see here, no, user data dot txt. Okay, it is permission, says permission denied. So you run it. So you'll get, see, it is stored here. It is nothing but while launching the instance, it will execute these commands. So now just check here, user data.txt, right? So now what I will do, I'll just change it to script. Okay. So mv user data.text to user data.sh. Okay, become root or use sudo, then sudo chmod and give execute permission to this user data.sh. and then just run. And of course you need root, so run. So it is going to install now, because earlier the internet gateway permission was not there, so that's the reason it has not done. Now the script will install everything and you can access. Okay, now you see, getting the point. So as the, so this indicates that every instance require a internet connection if it needs to install anything. Getting the point. So that is the reason. So this is what a user data will do to your system. Okay, now going back to your EC2 console, and you can go here and you can stop the instance. So will it stop? No. Why? So I need to disable API. So I have to go to actions, and you have to go to, and you cannot terminate also. See, so terminate is already, termination protection is enabled. So it is what saying. So you have to go to action, go to instance setting. So first change the, save it, and go to action, instance settings. Yes, and security. Yes, okay, you have to select first, right? Go to action settings. Yeah, change termination protection, enable, and save it. Only then you can terminate it. Of course you have to refresh and terminate. Clear, guys? Okay, and I was talking about two things, right? So first thing is spot request. So here you can configure your spot request. So this is the spot blueprints. I will show you pricing history, so you can check the pricing history. So based on your instance type, so C3 XLR, so this is the pricing. So you can save 70 to 70.28% than the on demand. This is for this region, and it is a region entity, and this will change spot. Okay, you're getting the point. So for different flavors, the rates will be different. So for Windows it is slightly higher, for Linux it will be okay. Clear? So this is here. So here also you can purchase a spot instances. See, you can select AMI, you can, so it is always better to do from here, to select your spot instances. It is very good, and I am using this for one of our client, and is very happy. His cost is reduced to almost 50% per month. He is okay to bear the cost, so sometimes it will get rebooted, but he is happy with the cost because he is saving almost 50% per month. So this is called the spot request. Okay, but remember, when you launch any instance using the spot request, if you terminate from the here this console, it will not get, it will terminate, it will get terminated, but will again, as it is a persistent request, it will be keep on launching again and again. So once you create a spot instance request, you have to delete here, and then automatically those things will be deleted. Getting the point? Now coming to the reserved instance. So this is called as something under the spot instances and below savings plan. Okay, so you can see here. So you can select Linux, default, tenancy, T3 micro and search. So they are giving you these many options. See 12 months, 36 months. Okay. So all upfront means if you are ready to pay for the whole year. So these are the option. See, just pay $53 and you can run the server for entire 1 year. 36 means even more cheaper. Okay, so this is because they will get the cash in advance and you can pay no upfront everything. Okay, so I'm going to give, yeah, that's it. And another thing is to save saving plan cost, but I don't think this is as good as these two. So better to go with spot request and the saving this one reserved instance, because savings plan is something you have to again tell the AWS that you are going to use monthly, and it is dependent on your AWS billing. Okay, so it is saying that it will take some time to prior cost management. So this is something based on your history of billing. Okay, so please prepare on these topics like whatever is covered today, and I'm going to share the links for you. Okay, any doubt guys before I wind up?
No, Mithun.
Okay, okay guys, then that's it. I'm going to stop the recording then.